Hello and good afternoon, and welcome to another live. For those of you watching on Facebook, welcome. For those of you watching on YouTube, in which you would have been on the original page, the Iconic Advisor page, and of course, those on the Financial Advisor Facebook and Shernette Clarke. I want to thank you once again for joining me this and every Sunday. Of course, you have been viewing videos, and of course I've changed it up a bit where once out of each month there is a live interview with someone on various topics, and I've gotten feedbacks from some of you. I really appreciate those feedbacks also, and for persons who have made suggestions, and for persons who are also um saying how valuable the presentations are, and they're learning, and they're taking on the recommendations. I remember last week live, someone called me immediately after watching the video, after making a previous decision, reversing that decision based on the video. So I'm happy that it's making sense. I'm happy that it's breaking grounds. And of course, you may have your own opinions and suggestions, and those are welcome too. And if those are working for you, of course, go ahead and execute those. But make sure that you're doing something, make sure that you're being consistent. And of course, today I have a guest with me. And before that, for those of you who want to look back on this topic that we're going to be divulging in a bit, the 50-30 rule may apply to some persons, and it's going to be relevant for this conversation, and it may not work for some. And it may be 40-20 for some. It may not be 50-30-20, and it is based on your income, your expenses, how much is it that you want to save, your accomplishments, your dreams, and your goals. And today we're going to be talking about love and money. And of course, it is a topic that we need to explore. It's a topic that is very important in relationships. And of course, I'm not going to be talking about transactional money now in terms of relationship, where a relationship that is rooted in money has a higher likelihood to feel transactional and less emotional charge than a love-based relationship. Certain individuals view this aspect as a major negative factor, whereas other people are okay with the dynamics and of course find out that it works for them. Now I want to explore some aspect of relationship and handling money. And of course, I invited my special guest this afternoon to join me, who is an author, a schoolmate of mine. We met from primary school. I was going to say 1990. So that would have been probably 5 years before 1990. And I can do the math. And of course, he is qualified. He's a trained teacher. He has written a book called Love, Life, Confrontation, and Expression, Chronicles of a Black Man. Of course, we can find it on Amazon. The store is here in Jamaica. We can elaborate on that when I get him. But of course, I think this is a person that is qualified to have this discussion in terms of relationship, money. Martin Matthews, welcome.
Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to you. Welcome to your viewers, and thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. And of course, thank you for accepting the invitation on such a short notice. And I want to welcome those who are on tonight, or today rather. Patricia Reed Waugh, and also she said she's ready to talk about love. And Wazim Lindsay said, love the conversation. And of course, guys, if you have your own suggestions, you can go ahead. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and go ahead right now and share in your various platforms, whether Facebook, WhatsApp, everybody that you know, Instagram, to join this conversation. And of course, I'm on the Financial Advisor page and YouTube, the Iconic Advisor. Just go ahead and share. Martin.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. How are you? Tell me
Don't tell
about
anybody how
yourself.
long.
Who
Don't tell
is
anybody how
Martin?
long we've known each other, because you go make people do the maths. As you say, we're not as young as we look.
I have no problem revealing my age, and you know that I've always, every birthday, the number is displayed. So then can go ahead and calculate. I've had some batchmates who have done disclaimer to say, you know, that she was in the older class when we were in first form. Like the 2 years will make a difference.
As
But
if, right?
I do understand. Who is Martin Matthews?
Is that my question to answer?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Martin
Who know
Magic.
you better?
Well, I don't know. I'm what I need to be when I need to be. It's I do have children, have significant others, been married twice, and you know, I don't like to talk about my work in this platform, but outside of work, I write. I'm an author. You know, I do some public speaking. I'll play, you know, the regular things Jamaican play football, dominoes, and all these things. Um, but at any time you come, you're talking to me, you're gonna get a positive vibe. You know, what I mean, that's really what it is. I try to, you know, figure out who I am, know who I am, so that whenever you communicate with me, you always gonna leave with a positive vibe, just
Yeah.
to say, hey, that's who I was. And anybody that knows me that you can call and ask, hey, you know this guy? Tell me something about him. That's what they're gonna tell you.
Thank you, sir. So there you have it, qualified to be speaking on the topic love and money as it relates to relationship. And we're just going to jump right into the question. And of course, I want you guys to stick and stay. Martin has a treat at the end. He's going to be doing one of his poems for us, and he'll talk a little bit more about that in terms of his book. Now, Martin, how does the love and money matters in a relationship?
Well, sure, it depends on where you are.
Yeah,
Love and money, or money in love. It depends on where you are in the relationship. So let's just break it down. Before we even get to love, you have to first meet a person,
yeah,
right? And just think about places people meet people. Okay, people meet people at restaurants, people meet people on the job, people meet people at clubs, people meet people out mostly, right? Now, the amount of money you have, your lifestyle is going to dictate the places you even go to, which means it's going to open up you to either meeting one set of people or meeting a different set of people. So I don't know if a lot of people even think about it in this way, but even the what should I say now? The eligible bachelors or eligible spinsters that you're going to meet, the amount of money you have and where you're comfortable dining out even will determine the crowd that you're in. It will determine the clothes, the stores that you shop at. It will determine what you do for recreation. It would determine whether vacation for you is a staycation or a fly across the world vacation. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So love is a part of money really, from the onset of it, from like who you're gonna be exposed to even get involved with. And
Right.
then as the when you meet the person now, the role that it plays is kind of varies, and it depends on where the individuals in the group are themselves, will kind of dictate the role that it plays in the relationship that they develop.
So it sounded like even if you are stable financially from the get go, where I meet you, the surroundings can also determine how you think about money, how you spend money, how
But
important is money. It means that wherever it is. So if it is that you meet me at Tasties instead of
no, but here's the thing. Here's the
Friday,
thing. Tasties is a more generic place because people from every echelon eat at Tasties, because
exactly.
everybody have the taste for a patty at some point or the other.
Yes.
However, if you go to, I was in Jamaica the other day, and a friend of mine took me to Uncorked in, is it called Uncorked? I think so. In Manor Park, probably. Um, and exactly. Now, the people I saw there, the people that were at that restaurant, you're not going to run into those people everywhere. But if you are at that restaurant and you meet someone at that restaurant, there's a highly likelihood that they are of a particular background, or
Taste.
they have a certain standing in society if they are
Yeah.
able to eat there, especially if it's somebody you go and see there um, on a regular basis. That's not the same. If you happen to see that person in Tasties, maybe, but if you see that person there, then it kind of separates, one group from the next.
Wow. It has me thinking a lot though. Is it that those persons would have their lives set, or is it that there's no I'm thinking while no proper budgeting yet, or
No,
is
not
it that
necessarily. Not necessarily. It might just be I have more disposable income. You see what I'm saying? So I can afford to eat at this place regularly because I have a more disposable income. If I have
Mhm.
more disposable income, then it's telling you, that I have to be in a certain position to have disposable income to begin with.
ah
You see what I'm
get
saying?
you.
So certain places, yes, I know, so my pocket not that strong, so me now go eat here. So that's not where
Yes.
you, that if you and I are to meet, we might book up at Tasties, but you're not gonna meet me there because I know that that's not the place. And mind you, you have the probability of running into a person the one time you go there. That's also possible. But the more likelihood of it is, if you meet certain people in certain places, it's almost like you have to meet certain criteria financially to even be in those
Yeah.
places comfortably. That if you
Yeah.
meet someone there, you know what I mean, then the possibility of you and them being on the same level financially is more likely.
Well, coming down now, so if you have met this person now and or not, or met this person elsewhere, how is it that for me, how money affects relationship? And you guys can watch previous videos that have been posted or uploaded before, as it relates to budgeting and the goals, your dreams. So if it is that you're having separate goals and dreams, those need to be. I remember a situation where I'm getting here. Um, when I was courting, and I was living in the Cayman Islands at the time, and I had met someone, and I recall my father saying to me, not that he had opposed to the relationship, but I was spending at the time 98 in 99 2000, I was spending like 100 to 1,000 CI dollars on phone bill on a monthly basis. That was
Wow.
just my bill, not the
Wow.
household bill.
Right.
When we add up all the expenses when it comes to the phone bill, because you get the printout. I don't think we have that now. When you add it up, everybody else combined in the household, which was me, mom, dad, my brother, four persons, their bill combined would have been $100, maybe 50.
Right.
And you're looking at the 700 to $1,000 would be mine because you were in love. You had to talk for long hours. And you know the thing, you hang up. No, man, you hang up first. No, you hang up. Sometimes you fall asleep on the phone. So in terms of spending, you're not thinking about that at this point in time. I am thinking of a relationship. I'm still thinking that I'm single, mom and dad paying the bills. I only need to pay this bill because me blow up the phone bill and just need to pay this portion.
Right.
But you're not thinking about planning. And I'm also thinking about it as in dining out. How often do you do that? If it is that you're seeking a partner or it is that you're now courting, where do you draw the line to say if this should become a relationship, this should be something, marriage and family? If we are not managing now, if we're not coaching now, if we're not mindful now, if we're not budgeting now, if we're not planning now, how is it going to affect the relationship
Well,
later on?
Shernette, I would hope that you were doing that because you could afford to do it. Like nobody is telling anybody to go out there and put themselves in financial trouble just to present a particular way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that what I mentioned before, I'd expect that if you are at that restaurant, you can afford to be at that restaurant. I'd expect that if you are dining out, whenever you're dining out, or whatever you decide to spending your money on, you're doing it
Right.
responsibly, right? Now that just really gets you into the relationship. Now when you get into the relationship, so say for example, the same scenario we talked about, the uptown restaurant, so to speak, and i I met you there because I was having I just got a bonus, or I just had a rough week, or I just felt down. I wanted to splurge on myself a little bit to feel better. That's your restaurant that you're at 3 times a day. When you
Mm-hmm.
walk in, you say, "Hi, Bob," talking to the chef, and hi, Joe, talking to the guy behind the bartender, because you know them. Now you happen to meet me there now. Now, is the expectation now if we get together, we hit it off that day? That was me saving up all my coins to go there that one time, right?
Oh,
You were just there because that's where you felt like eating today. Now what is that going to look like when we actually get together? You know what I mean? And is that going to affect how our love develops or does not develop? You know what I mean? I would hope that if you're going to be honest with yourself and with the person, you're kind of level with them, as opposed to try to put yourself in real financial harm, trying to get yourself into a particular, trying to keep presenting yourself as that thing that you are able to present yourself at just once a month. right?
Right,
Now
right,
so you have a when after you get into the relationship, or you cross that first threshold, you have to be responsible with your coins at that time.
right,
It always comes up with what happens when people from very different financial standing are in a relationship. What role does the money actually play? And it can make or break the relationship. I mean, in the sense that I can seek somebody, and them having money is a criteria I am looking for, which means I sidestep the fact that they're this, that, or the third, but because they have this thing that I lack and I need, I'll go into a relationship with them. You know what I mean? As well as it can be two people who both of them have a whole of money, and them just
right.
like each other, and them spend time with each other, and they have love and they have money, but really one not affecting the other. Or it could be two people who none of them have money, and them have love, them not have no money, but them still happy with each other. You know what I
But
mean?
are
So
willing to build, but some aspect in terms of ambition and goals to achieve the money
mhm.
together.
Right. The bottom line, doing a is that people have to live. The bottom
Yeah.
line is that people have to live. And because people have to live, people have to have money, because money is a part of living. You understand? You have to have money to spend, to buy, to pay your phone bill. You have to have money to spend for go to a restaurant. Right.
Yeah,
So
because the lack of it can cause frustration and cause a strain on the relationship too. If it is
yeah.
that you're not able to pay the bills. And
Right.
that's why it is important, because that's why I wanted to go back to the restaurant in meeting persons, and not necessarily the restaurant, but when it is that you're courting, or it is that you're contemplating whether marriage, or if you're already married and in a relationship and you have never had this discussion. Another incident I had was, I grew up seeing mommy working, I grew up seeing daddy working. I have never heard daddy saying I earn X and mommy saying I earn Y. But I know daddy will do X and mommy do Y. They
Mm-hmm.
have their role that they play in the house. But because I grew up seeing that, and because I started earning my money, when I got into a relationship, I remember once the gentleman followed me to the ATM, and he, of course, trying to be protective, he came into the ATM with me.
What?
And for the life of me, I take my body, you see, and I block the screen, just as if a stranger would have been waiting to use the ATM. I block the screen, and I said to him, I don't want to see my pin. I just never want him to see the screen to see how much in there, whether it is.
Right.
And he was offended. He was
Really?
offended. Yes, he was offended because in his, I don't know if, well, certainly he didn't discuss money either. I wasn't understanding that he would have been offended, because this is my money. It's not our money yet, or we're going to be
Mm-hmm.
combining. But whether it is I was embarrassed about the amount or not, he didn't understand that. But from the get go, he thought more or less, may I say, I'm a money, I come, you know?
Right.
Yeah, come for my money, or you there, or the lack thereof. I don't know, but he interpreted negatively. And for that, I believe that from the get-go, just as you met in the, what's the name of the place? I don't even try to pronounce it, in Kingston, or a Tasties or a KFC, or
Right.
you met in the supermarket, wherever it is, you have an idea of the likes and the taste of someone. What is it that, a relationship would entail? Us doing this once a month, us doing this every month. But it has to be a conversation what we're discussing, because when it comes to relationship now, as I said, mom and dad, the 50-30 rule comes into play. We're going to have combined expenses, so combined income. We're going to have, whether it is separate accounts, but we're going to have an account set for paying the bills, or am I going to have my separate investments? Am I going to have my separate in? When it comes to the children's education, how
Mm-hmm.
are we going to be handling that? Is it 10% out of my earning, 10% of yours? So it has to be a decision that we're having, because it can break or make a relationship.
I think a lot of people, I think maybe not enough people have these type conversations at the time in the relationship that they're supposed to have it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you need money to live, and to a large extent you need love to live.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we embark upon one without talking about the other, and it can cause real problems, because when
Mm-hmm.
it comes right down to it, you do actually need it. You know what I mean? And the sooner in the relationship, I think that you can have these type conversations to see where people are at, see what their thought processes are as it relates to that. Then you can actually end up in a better place with it, because it's like for some, and it might not just be money. I mean, conversations in relationships, there's several conversations that can be hard conversations to have. But if you're going to actually have a chance of long lasting love with someone, money and the talk about money and the
Mm-hmm.
role money play has to be a threshold, has to be a conversation that has to be had. But you have to get past that. You know what I mean? You have to understand exactly where one is relative to the next. And you have to cross that bridge at some point, and the sooner you cross that bridge, the better, because money is just another factor of life, and it's necessary.
Come on, Smith said, you have a boyfriend that doesn't, this sound personal, that take you out nor give you anything, but still are required to do dailies or dailies. I'm hoping it's dailies. Sex,
Uh,
cook, clean, and provide for years in. Wow. That's another topic, Kim.
No, well, I see what she's getting at. Her thing is,
Yes.
I mean, if I am doing, because you spoke about mom and dad and splitting, what who does what when, I mean, it's like it has to be a thing where, from the female perspective, if I am doing all these things, then guess what? You have to hold down your part, because it look like now we're dealing with more traditional gender role type things. And if you're
Right.
dealing with traditional gender roles, then if I am the one that's going to be at home doing everything,
With the
then you gotta,
children.
yes, then you have to take care of the other side of it. Now, mind you, we're not saying that there's any one way to do that. You know what I mean? People's dynamic is different, especially now when, I mean, women are working just as much as men are working. You have stay at home moms, you have stay at home dads. You know what I mean? When you have that dynamic now, it's just a matter of you coming to wherever your level is,
Make sure
and
there's a balance.
finding what works for you and your significant other, as far as everything else is concerned, including money.
I am encouraging for relationships, joint accounts, and also separate accounts. Discuss lifestyle choices together. You also need to recognize the differences in personality, because I may be the spendthrift, you may be the miser, and we have to meet halfway. I might be versed on investment, you may not be able to want to take on those risks, but we need to recognize them, and we need to have those discussion, and we have to meet some middle ground in terms of the goals for us. Don't let salary differences come between you, Martin, and that means me I earn more than you. The
Mm-hmm.
female earning more than the male can also cause issues
Okay.
in a relationship. I don't know if you want to speak on that.
Oh, for sure. Because it's a thing where it's like we said, coming in, you have to get these things clear. Coming in, you have to get these things clear. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the fact that the female earn more than you doesn't mean you're still not the man in the relationship. You still have to be the man in the relationship,
Yeah,
irrespective of how much money the female earn.
right.
And I get that it can be ego bruising. It can be make you feel belittled in some instances, but it's really something that you actually still have to get past. You have to work through it, and you have, because it's really more ego than anything else, because it could
Yes,
just be your background. She happens to
right.
have come from a place where her people probably could afford to send her to college, or afford to send her even go to school every day during high school. You know what I mean? While yours probably weren't. So them go to college, them have a degree that earn them more money than you earn, or them have a business, or them inherit a business from grandma and grandpa down to mommy and daddy down to them. It could be a variety of things. But you cannot let that really, like I said, the sooner you have the relation, the
The
conversation about
discussion,
it,
yes.
the better, because as long as the ground rules are laid, and the people that are in the equation decide to both play by the rules, everything is fine. It don't matter what the rules are. There's no preset set of rules. But you have to make sure that you and the person that you're in the relationship with are playing by the same rules.
Exactly, because I was going to interject there that you mentioned, well, we about the man earning more, the woman earning more, whoever it is that is earning more, and the other one who is not earning enough. That one who is earning more, there tend to be some lack of respect sometime, and some. But and I want to encourage, especially the women, if that is you, because it's normally us that we still make our men the man of the house and the respect is still due, because of course it would have been a discussion. You hold me down when we're not able to come up, and vice versa. And we have to understand that in relationship, that is not a competition. And we need to let our purchases open. Me nah hide and buy no shoes and bag and tell you, you know how long me have this? We are making purchases that is affecting us. And it is not even necessarily a need. It's a want sometimes that we go out and make exorbitant purchases or lend money without our partners knowing, and that can cause issues. So we want to discourage that, set expectations together, and also the kids them can run the show too, Martin,
Mm-hmm.
between the couples,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
because
see,
they,
go
yes,
ahead.
go ahead. You go
No,
ahead.
no, I was saying, yeah, because eventually the kids kind of, and sometimes some pretty early too, but eventually, the kids usually take over, or, like dealing with them. And sometimes you'd be surprised pretty early. Sometimes them have some really snazzy ideas that you can use to deal with things. But
Yes,
like I said, sooner is better. When it comes to
right.
love, money, sooner is better for all kind of
Sooner is
conversation.
better.
Yep.
Martin, this is a conversation that we could have for an hour. We don't have that time
We do
today.
that.
I mean, I really appreciate you pushing and sticking me in that little, squeezing me in that little time. And I don't want you to leave without giving us a piece of the poem. Patricia said we can have joint account. He can deposit and I withdraw. That can work.
So that's giant,
That
all
can
right.
work to Patricia.
You hold one side, I hold the other side.
Yes, and of course, this is a restaurant. The place Uncorked is at the new Super Value Plaza at Manor Park. I need to check it
That's
out.
it. That's it.
Yeah, to see,
It was
loving the
nice.
conversation. Hi, Jason.
What's up,
Welcome.
bro?
People only come on my live when certain people are here.
Well, you said share it, right? So I did.
Yes, yes, share it. So, of course, I love to hear your poems, Martin, and I want to give the
Oh,
viewers some chance to tell us
all right. So
where we can
so
find it.
earlier you asked me about a poem that's about love and money, and I didn't have one. I actually have a lot of poems about love, but I don't have a poem about love and money. So, but I write poetry, so I actually wrote one. Between the time you reach out to me, read the show, and now, as far as the book is concerned, the book is Love, Life, Confrontation, Expressions, selections from the Chronicles of a Black Man. Fontana Pharmacies, Jamaica, and Amazon Worldwide has it. All right, so the poem is called Love and Money, Love and
Yes,
Money. If I trip up over it, that's because I just wrote it.
yes.
I can't read my own handwriting, okay? So it's called Love and Money. How could I have, and before I even read it, I wrote it from two perspectives. So some of the verses are written from a male perspective, some of the verses are written from a female perspective. So the narrator is actually being interchanged as the poem goes by. All right.
All
Okay.
right.
Love and money. How can I have been so blind? Why couldn't I see? Busy planning quality time when all she wanted was my money. My girlfriend told me he checked out. The right school, the right job, never just out and about. So I let my guard down and let him all the way in, totally blindsided when my funds came up missing. This man is crazy, but despite all his flaws, he was a great business partner. What a loss. There's just no way I can see past all his stuff. As the old saying goes, when a woman's fed up, she just offers. I never have to ask. If only her money could buy us that spark, that missing ingredient that would make us work. We've tried therapy. Maybe we should try church. But for all the love and the money in the world, still no secret formula for when a boy meets a girl. A few hand me down keepsakes to guide our path, even though our grandparents never had to walk the road we walk. The end.
The end. I actually was hoping there was more when I heard that line.
Uh,
Yeah,
no,
you
that's
don't get
it.
some people business. You just the
Uh-huh.
conversation just get
Nah,
juicy.
that's it. Like I said, I just wrote it in and out, in and out. That's all I had at the time. And when the juice stopped flow, I stopped. Um, where did she go? I don't know if y'all can hear me, but my host seemed to be Wi-Fi spitting. So that was Love and Money for my wrote just now today. Um, and yeah, it was just dealing with different scenarios of love being a part of money, money being a part of love, and the fact that if you're not careful as to how you actually get involved in such things, then you might end up with a result that you don't want. Um, like I mentioned, it's best that you really get these conversations out the way early. You understand? When you get into a relationship, it's best you get into the love and money conversation early because it's necessary. Apparently, it's my show now, people's. Sure, I will turn this into the evening people show. I will. Yeah, my host vacated. I'm not sure if you guys can still see me, but if you can, I'm just gonna keep going until I get her back. So yeah, the poem is Love and Money, and what the first line starts off by saying, "How could I have been so blind? Why couldn't I see?" So it's like somebody that invested all the way in love and money that just came to realize that the person that they're with was only in it for the money. I mean, maybe they never had the conversations, maybe they were just so swept off their feet that they never thought the other was important. So you got to make sure that anytime you're in these type situations, you take time to understand a person's relationship with money. You understand? Understand a person's relationship with money. And what I mean by that is their relationship with money is going to determine how they spend money, how they value money, what they think money should be spent on. And all those things have to be consistent with your take on the matter because if it's not, you're going to have conflicts of interest from the get-go. The other one said, my girlfriend told me that he checked out. He had went to the right school, had the right job. So this is coming now from a female perspective that they felt like they were deliberate. You know what I mean? They felt like they were deliberate. They didn't just grab the first person they found. Oh, I just kept going. You know me.
Thank you for holding it down.
You know me.
I
Uh,
know you're the professional.
I,
I joined on my phone because there's an issue with the laptop sometimes, but then you couldn't see me. I was waving, so I had.
so I don't know if it kept streaming the whole time or not, but I
Yeah,
just kept talking just in case. What I was saying though, I was going through the scenarios, and I know we got to jump off here real quick. I was going through the
right.
scenarios that I mentioned in the book, um, and I was at the girl that said, her friends told her that the guy checked out. He went to
Mm-hmm,
all the right school, went to the right
mm-hmm.
colleges, had the right job, and for all practical purposes, he should be the guy. So I'm just saying, when you get into stuff like this, you have to. It has to be more than that. You have to understand a person's relationship to money. How
Yeah.
do they spend money? Is it somebody that if they broke and you give them money, the first place they're gonna go is to the nail salon or hair salon?
Or
If
a
it's somebody that
sneakers in
when
your
them
case,
broke,
sir.
if no, well, if a somebody and them broke the first money them get them, I go buy a drink and a spliff. Like you have to understand a person's relationship to
With
money. How
money. Yeah.
yeah,
How
how
they
they
see
view money,
money. Yeah.
whether they have a little or a lot. You have to understand their basic relationship with money before you really introduce love to them. Because if their relationship to money is not consistent with yours, or it's a case where you cannot facilitate their relationship with money, then you're gonna have a problem.
Yes. And discussion in family, guys, because sometimes your money is going to go a long way. You maybe maybe expected and you did not know that you're going to be taking care of her sister, her mother, her father, other relatives
Mm-hmm.
and friends. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to have those discussion, and planning is key, because I can't come into a relationship with you and didn't know what my expectations were. We have to be open and honest, and then I'm downloaded with all of this. And if the person have existing debts, we need to have those discussion, what they think about loans. We have to have those discussion, and whether we're going to start with a clean slate, or I know that sees that you're up here and you know, have no credit in your case, Martin, in America. Whatever the situation is, when it comes to money, we have to be open and honest.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to know how money works getting into a relationship now. Just as how I believe that HIV test is going, it should be a requirement in relationship. I need to know your status in terms of your health. I need to know your money
No,
health.
that's 101 for me. That's 101. If I start dating or back in the dating days, when I start dating somebody new, getting a full panel STD test is standard operating procedure. Because
Right.
what?
It's
Because you're
important.
pretty, I should assume that you're healthy. Those things
Right.
aren't, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna make that assumption.
Right. No, someone said love and sex next. Oh, Kamoy wants us to have this. We'll discuss that some other time, Kamoy. Mr. Matthews has to go.
I do.
Then he said couples need 3 accounts together. I believe that separate and a joint account.
Hmm.
And Patricia said the same thing happened. Oh, regarding to the internet dropping. But I want to thank you, Mr. Matthews. Any final words you have for the viewers today?
Just take our 2 cents that we came up with for you guys here today. I mean, have the relationship, have the conversation, sorry, and have the conversation early. And while you're having that conversation, or while you're just dating the person, try to observe them. Try to
Yes.
observe their relationship to money, because just watch how they spend their money. And if the way they spend their money is a way, because you see some, and there's simple clues that you can look at. What I mean? Somebody don't have a steady job, but you're looking at them closet and a beer Clarks in there, like the high-end Clarks, and would cost a leap of money, or their wardrobe. And I'm not saying somebody shouldn't have nice things, but I'm
Right.
saying you have to look at their relationship to the money that they have, and how they treat it and how they spend it, and ask yourself whether or not their relationship to money is the same as your relationship to money. And if when you two guys get together, it gonna help to build the relationship up, or it gonna tear the relationship down.
Exactly. I thank you. I have nothing to add. I mean, those points are excellent and on target. And we encourage that you have those discussions. Mr. Matthews,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you so much. Remember to get his book, guys, on Amazon and all the pantanas here in Jamaica. Love, Life, Confrontation, Expressions of a Black Man. It's an awesome book. And there's another book in the making. So we can't wait, sir.
Several.
Thank you
Several.
once again. Enjoy the rest of your evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Take care.
Thank you very much. No, guys, you heard it from the horse's mouth. Of course, I thank Martin for being here, and I want to encourage you all to have those discussions and to be open and honest when it comes to money. You want to be discussing your investments, you want to be discussing life insurance, you want to be discussing critical illness. I had the recent opportunity of meeting this lady who was recently diagnosed stage 1 breast cancer, and of course the husband was never interested in insurance, and of course we're having those discussions in terms of getting him on, because what it is, the insurance that she has, when I found her, I wanted to increase what she had, and 30 days later she was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer. It couldn't be increased because she was already diagnosed. Now it is costing them. She has done her surgery, yes, and recover, but of course, with follow-up. And if it is costing the family this much, you want to make sure that if it should happen to the husband, who is a main breadwinner, that you have those money put aside for those eventualities. You want to make sure that your pension is in place. You want to leave an inheritance for your children's children. Those who are dependent on your income, you want to make sure that they're okay if and when you're not able or capable to do so. Thank you once again, guys, for joining me every Sunday. Thank you, Nashali. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Kamoy. Thank you, Venice. Thank you, Jason. Hope I'm not leaving anybody out. Thank you, Wazim. And for those who will be watching the video on YouTube, on Facebook, the Financial Advisor page, and also Shernette Higgins Clarke page. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support. The subscription is going up on YouTube. I encourage you guys to share the videos and to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so whenever it is anything else is uploaded here new, that you'll be the first to know. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Remember to stay strong, stay focused, and to stay safe. Bye, guys. Love you.